it was so intimidating, but it was like I was going to meet God. It was as close to saying, you know, I'm here to meet with God. He's here. His name is Arthur Ashe.
Ashe soon became one of the world's very best, the first African American to play Davis Cup, and in 1968, the first African American man to win a Grand Slam singles title, the U.S. Open at Forest Hills. In the true spirit of the ATA, Arthur Ashe was more than an athlete. He was a global ambassador, using tennis as a means toward achieving social change, visiting South Africa, bringing tennis to the inner cities, creating the National Junior Tennis League. In 1975, Ashe reached the pinnacle, winning Wimbledon, an upset triumph over defending champion Jimmy Connors that revealed rare emotion and firmly established Ashe as the #1 tennis player in the world. Gibson and Ashe were the trailblazers, and soon enough, many African Americans made an impact on tennis, both as players and coaches, from John Wilkerson to Benny Sims to Rodney Harmon and Malavi Washington, Bonnie Logan, Leslie Allen, and Katrina Adams, Lori McNeil, Zena Garrison, and Chanda Rubin. The ATA has been the catalyst for all of this success and reaped the rewards too. In 1972, the ATA Championship was televised, featuring Art Carrington and Horace Reed, with commentary of this incredible match from none other than Althea Gibson and Bud Collins.
Horace and I played in Boston, and it was nationally televised. It was a 5-set match. I never was behind in the match until it was a 9-point sudden death tiebreaker. And when Horace won 5-4, that 5 was the first time I was behind in the match. The match was over. Arthur Ashe said that when he was in the locker rooms at Westside Tennis Club, Forest Hills, that the players were all just amazed at the level of tennis and the quality of tennis. And that pretty much brought black tennis, because up until that point, black tennis was Arthur Ashe. You understand? And so that kind of brought black tennis of some attention and notoriety that, you know, it hadn't received. And that was a pretty major event.
3 years later, San Diego hosted the American Tennis Association Championship, the first time it was held west of the Mississippi, and things kicked off in great style with a festive pro-am hosted by tennis lover Bill Cosby, and joined by such luminaries as comedian Richard Pryor and singers Aretha Franklin and Eartha Kitt. Bob Ryland taught many of these celebrities and recalls those days fondly.
Well, I taught Bill Cosby, I taught Barbra Streisand, I taught Dusty Hoffman, I taught Eartha Kitt, I taught Tony Bennett, most all of them, you know. I traveled with Bill Cosby all over the world, but he didn't want to learn tennis. He wanted to beat me, and he couldn't beat me, so he threw his racket over over the fence or wherever, with Vegas, Australia, whatever. Bam, goodbye. Because the guy said, you ain't gonna beat me. But and Barbra Streisand, she couldn't hit nothing. She had no reflex. And so one day I was at Midtown Tennis Club, and I had a fellow who I was teaching. He said, I want to play Barbra Streisand. So I said, okay, I guess Bob, you want to play. So he did Barbara 6 love. He wrote her a letter. Said, you'll never be a tennis player, you'll be a singer. And boy, she took her clothes and everything out and went to Florida, went to California, and took up with a bunch of cigar.
The ATA's legacy, impact, and long-standing quest for recognition have made their mark. Following in Gibson's footsteps, America's James Blake was taught to play in Harlem and has emerged as a player of distinction, a Davis Cup stalwart who finished 2006 as one of the top 4 players in the world. Serena and Venus Williams are international superstars, winning numerous Grand Slam titles, each rising to the #1 ranking and featured on dozens of magazine covers and television broadcasts. Breaking ground with every step they take, in 2001 the sisters took on one another in the U.S. Open Final, the first Grand Slam final played in prime time, carried live on CBS, and aired to millions of homes across the globe. Yet as high as these two have soared, each is exceptionally grounded. 2007 marked